Today we're going to have fun talking about one of my favorite topics, which is the one thing you need to start doing if you're going to attract clients to you and stop chasing clients. And I know that you're going to find today very valuable because it's something that I work on with all my clients. It's something that when I changed it in my business, I got a lot more inquiries on Instagram, on my website, just because I made this one change. And so we're going to talk about that today. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Haley Rowe. I'm a business coach for health coaches in particular and wellness professionals who want to grow their business online organically, attract ideal clients through authentic marketing, meaning marketing that doesn't feel pushy, marketing that doesn't require a ton of funnels and a ton of, setup that's very expensive. And I also work with them on their confidence and boldly owning their message and their niche. And that is kind of why today is so important, because we're going to talk about niche. And while many of you think that you know who your client is, you know what you do, you're a health coach, I would question if you are specific enough on your target market, because when you get specific on your target market, everything changes. And I'm going to share with you why it's so important to be aware of exactly who your ideal client is and be able to get in their heads and know what they want and know what their struggles are and be able to speak to those needs in your posts, in your marketing, in your calls with them, on your sales page, etc. The thing that I really would like to go over today, I'm going to give you 3 steps to get specific on your target market. And then I'm going to share with you how you can start to use your target market and what we're going to create, which is what I like to call your unique value statement, in your Instagram bio, and create a 5-star Instagram bio at the end. So not only will you get more specific on your target market today and how to attract them, you'll get specific on how you can clean up what you currently have to start catching the eyes of your ideal clients. So again, why is it important to know your niche? First of all, it's going to allow you to hit home with certain people instead of trying to work with everyone and be everything to everybody. Because when you're speaking to everyone, you're speaking to no one. When you're trying to be everything to everybody, you end up signing 0 clients. Why? Because they think, I could go to somebody else who's specifically working on my needs, X, Y, and Z. So it's really important to know specifically, are they women? Are they men? What are their struggles? What are their dreams? What would they hire and pay money for a coach on? And so getting specific on your niche allows you to do that and be specific and attract those people. Also, think about it. If I'm going to give you 2 examples. Let's say you want the best donut ever. And I know many of you probably don't even eat donuts because you're in this group. We're all health nuts here. But let's say you really want a special donut. Are you going to go to a general dessert shop like Dairy Queen or Oberweis? I don't even think they make donuts there. Or some other place that has all sorts of desserts, ice cream, donuts, cakes. Or are you going to find a place like Voodoo Donuts that specializes in just the best donuts? They're known for their amazing donuts. Or a place like, give me another donut shop that's really popular, Stan's here in Chicago. You're going to find the best place for donuts specifically. It's the same thing with clients and marketing. When you are trying to find a coach for a specific need, if someone is saying they do that and XYZ and XYZ, and they're being super general, you're going to think, maybe that's not the right coach for me. I don't know if they solve my current problem that I'm really focused on. So, and same thing, like, let's say you're a runner and you want to get really good running shoes. Are you going to go to DSW because they have like all types of shoes? Or are you going to go to like a Nike or an Adidas or something that specifically specializes in making really good running shoes? Probably going to go to Nike and Adidas and all of that, right? This is why you need to be specific in your niche. And one more reason, if you ever plan on growing your brand to be doing sponsorships or an affiliate deals, or things like that, you're going to want to set yourself apart by being so specific in who your audience is that those people will come to you and be like, you have the exact person we're trying to reach. Your demographic is exactly who we're trying to reach. So you're going to be more likely to get better affiliate deals and have more leverage in that, and sponsorships if you have a podcast or something along those lines when you're super specific. And you'll be able to tell them, here's my audience, this is exactly what they like, this is exactly what they don't like. And again, rock on. It's gonna rock your world. Okay? So I know it can feel very scary to narrow down your niche, but I would tell you when I did it, I got a lot more reach outs from people wanting to work with me. And you might feel like FOMO, like I'm afraid I'm going to miss out on all the potential clients I could have if I just said I do health coaching, because a lot of people need health coaching, versus if I say I do keto diet coaching, or I do, I help people with get an at-home fitness program, people who don't have gym memberships. So don't be afraid of that. You will not miss out. You will actually attract, because what happened for me, like I said, I got really specific on my branding. I got really feminine in my branding. I got really specific about who I was serving, health coaches. And eventually what happened was I was getting people asking, wow, it was a lot of guys have come to me. A lot of people saying, well, do you still do life coaching? Do you do life coaching? People who had never asked about it before. Oh, actually, I just need a health coach. Do you still do that? Like, it is possible. I still got a lot of other people who don't fit my description of my target client, even though I market who my target client is all the time, when I changed my niche and narrowed it down. Go really deep with this. Go really specific with this, and we'll talk about how to do that today. And it's just like dating. When you're a personal brand and you're doing one-on-one coaching or group programs that are with small groups, you usually have a specific type when you're dating, right? You like tall and handsome and they're always funny, or they're smart, or you like someone who's really hardworking, or you like somebody who, I don't know, fill in whatever you like in a man or a woman. But the bottom line is you have a specific type. So same thing with your coaching business. You need to have a specific type. You need to understand that person inside and out. So when you're dating somebody, you tend to want to learn what makes them tick, what is their goals, what are their goals, I should say, what are their urgent struggles, what are they insecure about. It's the same thing with your ideal clients. And also, you want to be able to prioritize your relationship with these people. So if you're dating somebody, obviously you prioritize getting to know them, you nurture the relationship, you keep going out with them on dates. Same thing with your potential ideal clients. You build that relationship, you keep following up, you keep in touch with them, you know their urgent struggles and you know how to help them with those. You provide free resources that can help them along the way, and then when they're ready to work with a coach, who do they think of? They think of you. Now that you know why it's so important to get specific on your niche, let's talk about the unique value statement and what that even means. The goal of the unique value statement is to capture the interest of your ideal paying clients within 10 seconds or less. They should be able, it's almost like your elevator pitch. You could call it your branding statement, you could call it your competitive advantage, you could call it whatever you like, but I'm going to call it unique value statement. And what it should do is be able to clearly explain who you are, what you do, who you work with, what problem you solve, or what dreams you make come true for your clients. And it should be something that's going to be money generating for you and be, again, hitting home with your ideal clients. So let's talk about what this statement includes. I'm going to read it to you, and then I'll tell you what each blank will stand for. Okay, ideal unique value statement. Here we go. I am a blank coach for blank who want to blank and blank through blank. Okay, so the first blank is, what kind of coach are you? Instead of just saying I'm a health coach, say something like I'm a holistic nutrition coach, or I'm a stop dieting coach, or I'm a holistic not, or let me rephrase that, like non-toxic product coach or something that shares who you are, that goes a little deeper than just health or fitness. Those are huge market segments, right? So I'm for example, body positive coach for who's your ideal client. So for some people, it might be corporate moms. For some people, it might be new moms who just had a baby. For some people, it might not be moms at all. It might be teens in college, or something like that. So who's your ideal client? Then you're going to say who want to blank and blank. Okay, so blank and blank would be, the first blank would be your urgent struggle of your ideal client. So it might be like, who want to stop binge eating every night after dinner, or who want to stop saying that they'll start tomorrow, who want to stop, you get the picture. And then the other blank is the urgent dream or goal of your ideal client. So it could be who want to lose the last 5 pounds, or who want to get over that weight, that plateau that they've been experiencing, or who want to get their hormones in balance, or who want to rock their workday. The bottom line is you want to go from the pain to the solution through, and then the last blank is your tool that you provide. So it could be through, and it should be unique. So it should be like my 5-step no diet system, or my, it could be if you're a macro flexible dieting coach, that's your tool. I've worked with somebody who does neurofeedback, which is a brain training system. So instead of saying neurofeedback, which a lot of people don't know what it is, it might scare them off, we say through training your brain to learn how to regulate itself, or to stop being reactive, and so we say through our tools how it's unique, what it really does. And so that would be, for you guys, many of you guys, it would be your whatever your formula is for problem solving. So let's just summarize. I'm a blank coach for blank who want to blank and blank through blank. Okay? Now it's optional for you to include the tools in your this statement, but for most people on your website, on your Facebook, you can include it. And then for your Instagram bio, where you kind of have to shorten up what you say in your Instagram bio because you're only given a certain amount of space, you could take out your tools and instead, through your posts, show what is so good about what your tools are. You can show your tools through your content. Now let's talk about how you're going to fill out these blanks, because a lot of you think you know your ideal client, you think you know what they want, but then when it comes to actually knowing for sure, you've never validated it with them, you've never asked them about it, you're kind of guessing, especially if you're in the beginning stage of your business. However, if you've been working with a lot of clients for a long time, then you could probably think about your past experiences and why those people signed up with you, what they were really looking for, what really excited them, what did they love about working with you, what were their struggles, and you can use that to pull from. But for those of you who don't really know, here's what I would do. In order to get specific on your ideal client and their urgent pain points and their struggles, the first thing you need to do is make a little chart and take a few guesses. So the chart would be what you think their struggles are, biggest problems, things they worry about, things that keep them up at night. The other side of the chart would be their dreams. What would they want instead? What would be the best goal they could ever achieve that they'd pay to achieve? And then in the middle, you're going to write down your solutions for them, what you do to help them. And through that, you're going to then take it to market research, something that I do with my clients when I'm working with them in my 4-month package, where they are able to connect with potential ideal clients through interviews, like through Skype or through the phone or one-on-one or in person or in a small group. But I teach them how to get those interviews lined up, how to market those interviews, how to make them sound enticing and give something of value in return for those market research interviews, because they are really valuable. When you learn from your potential ideal client, you're going to be able to skip all the guesswork and speak exactly to what your ideal clients need. Now we're going to talk about the other thing you can do, which is ask yourself the basics. So before you do market research and before you validate who your ideal clients are, ask yourself what are all the basics of a target market. So what's their gender usually? Doesn't mean you will never work with the opposite sex, but pick a gender to start with, especially in the beginning. What's their occupation? What's their family status? So are they moms? Do they have kids? Are they single? What's their career? What's their background? Meaning, did they grow up in the country? Are they urban? You know, tell me about their background. Where do they live, typically, if that matters? For online coaching, it doesn't matter as much, so don't get caught up in that. What are they interested in? What are they insecure about? What are their hobbies? What would they love to do on the weekends? How do they spend their workday? And then, now, none of this means anything until you interview people and ask them questions. Because you could guess all of this and then find out, actually, they don't really struggle with, moms who work corporate jobs don't actually really struggle with what I thought they did. And then you can adjust your statement, your unique value statement, accordingly. And let's get even a little more specific. You should try to nail down in your chart, once you do it and once you talk to real people in interviews, the 3 most urgent struggles and the 3 most urgent goals. And they should be like, if you had to rate them on a scale 1 to 10, they should be a 10 for your clients. You should ask them, would you pay for a coach for this? If not, why not? If so, well, okay, why? So be sure to ask those kinds of questions. And if you're interested in learning more about this process and how to go about getting interviews and how to make them smooth and even how to turn your market research interviewees into excited, nurtured, happy clients, I'd be happy to talk about that with you, and you can book a free assessment call. Okay, let's now move on to the common pitfalls of creating these unique value statements. There's a lot of common mistakes that I see, and while there really are no rules in business and you can be successful with any kind of bio or anything you want to do, you can be successful in different ways, but these are the most common things that I see that are kind of maybe making it more difficult for certain coaches to get clients. And the first thing is picking a difficult target client, ideal client, meaning picking somebody who really would never be able to do coaching, meaning maybe they're dealing with, if you're going for like burnt out, extremely burnt out, adrenal fatigue to the max type of clients, those people, they need like a holistic naturopath doctor, or they need sleep. The first thing they think about is taking a nap, not signing up for a coach, right? Because that's going to add more to their plate. When they have adrenal fatigue to the max, they're not motivated probably. So you want to think about those kinds of things. If you're going for kids, you got to know how to market to the parents, because kids can't pay for your services if they're like 12, right? So always try to pick an ideal type of client who could work with you and who has the time and who would be eager and enthusiastic to work with you. Same thing with like, if you're really trying to help people who are just super negative and, whatever, you have to be careful about how you market that and how you describe them. Because A, you don't want to offend anyone, and B, you want clients who are excited, who are eager, who are enthusiastic, who will sign up and follow through. So consider that when picking your ideal client. The other thing that I see that's super common in people's unique value statements is don't list their struggles as super general, and instead get so specific in the language of your ideal client. So how would your ideal client explain the struggle? For example, no one ever says, I'd like to overcome obstacles. And I see that a lot in branding statements, and it's like, well, what obstacles? And of course everybody wants to overcome obstacles, but what does that mean for your ideal client? What are their obstacles? Everybody's obstacles are different. Or something like, I help people become more resilient. And as much as I love the idea of being able to bounce back and be resilient by definition, what does that mean for your ideal client? Being resilient might mean bouncing back to their to their pre-baby body after they have a newborn, or being resilient to them might mean being able to balance health and fitness and nutrition while being a startup entrepreneur or something like that. That might be resilience to them. So you have to think about what, if you're using a general term like obstacles or be resilient or high performance, pause, ask yourself, what does high performance look like? What does overcoming obstacles mean for them? And be the more specific, the better, because here's the thing, you can always tweak your niche and your specific statement, but you should start small so that you can, like I said, hit home with the potential ideal clients. And when you're Tony Robbins and you have a huge following, or you've been doing it for a while and you're known for your niche, then you can start to expand. So don't think that your unique value statement has to be set in stone forever. It can change, it can be tweaked, but the more specific you start out with it, the better. The other thing that I would recommend is try not to be overly complex and overly sophisticated, meaning don't use fancy terms just because you want to sound really smart. Don't say something like I help, like where I can't read between the lines. Like, don't try to be super sophisticated. So for example, I help people release their inner divine goddess. Like I like the sound of that, but I don't really know what that means, right? So always don't try to sound too cool. You should be able to have someone young who's like a 5-year-old read your statement and understand what you do. And the last thing that I would say is use your tools as tools and not the results. So the results of your coaching and your dreams of your ideal clients is not mindset coaching. It's not their goal. They wouldn't come to you and say, I really want to be able to have a strong mindset. What I'm trying to say is don't try to use the tools as the results. The results should be a picture imagery. It should be something specific they would achieve in their life that would make them super happy, and not like training their brain, for example. That's your tool. Or meditation. That's your tool. That's not the end goal. Now maybe the end goal is something like being able to meditate anywhere and be like a Zen person that nothing sets them off. But meditation, again, is a tool. And now what I want to do is give you a few examples of good unique value statements and what I like about them, and then review one person's Instagram bio who I love, and tell you why it's so good and what I would change. So here's a good example of a unique value statement. Now keep in mind the formula is a little bit changed as far as you can change the order, you can change the exact wording, but you still want to get the same blanks filled that we talked about earlier. So here's one. I'm a holistic health coach for startup entrepreneurs. Okay, so startup entrepreneurs is the ideal client. Holistic health coach is the type of coach they are. I'm a holistic health coach for startup entrepreneurs and help them get their energy back with a low time commitment training plan so that they can achieve optimal health without sacrificing their business growth. Okay, so where in there is the dream of the startup entrepreneur? The startup entrepreneur's dream is to be healthy without having to take time away from their business to spend their whole day on being super healthy, right? So that statement included low time commitment training plan. That's the tool. And that sounds sweet because, oh, it doesn't take me a long time and I can still achieve optimal health. Awesome. And then, of course, the struggle for them that's implied is low energy, because you say you help them get their energy back. Let's talk about another example of a good statement, unique value statement. I'm a fitness coach for new moms, and I help them get back to their pre-baby weight without having a gym membership and training at home, so they can feel sexy and confident and while rocking motherhood. Okay, so what's the dream? They want to be feeling good and confident as a new mom and have it all, you know? And so that's the dream, and that's why it's at the end of the statement. The coach helps them get back to their pre-baby weight, so that's the goal, and the struggle that they're facing right now is losing that baby weight. And then new moms is the ideal client. I love how specific new moms is compared to all moms.